And this will be the point which will lead you to being denied the visa. So, guys, we don't need to lie about our relationship with the sponsor. Hi, guys, it's Aaron Intende, and today I'm talking about the Form I-134 USCIS Declaration of Financial Support, Department of Homeland Security, USA Citizenship and Immigration Service, USCIS Form I-134. This is the Affidavit of Support. So guys, as many of you have been having questions about this form, so today I'm gonna fill it with you. One thing I have to tell you guys, I myself, I took the liberty to fill it out for my sponsor. I did not leave it all to my sponsor because our sponsors are so busy doing their work, earning, making money. So we don't need to bother them that much. But if your sponsor is willing to fill it out for you, then let him or her do it. So the affidavit of support, this is an important document for immigration, especially for the DV lottery, diversity visa lottery, that is green card USA. So guys, today I want to talk about the affidavit of support and how you can fill it. So this is a requirement to most of our embassies, especially in Africa. It's a requirement. It will help you show that you have someone who will support you when you reach USA, and it will show that you're not gonna be dependent on the government aid or on the government system. You're not going to be a burden like you're gonna seek for free food, grants. There are a lot of ways you can depend on to the government when you come here. So guys, that's how they will know that somebody is there to take care of you, to give you an insurance, medical insurance. Yes. So guys, this is the affidavit of support. That's mine, but I'll put it here or here so you can see on the screen. So the first question, in the left hand corner, it will show, I went to the website and I downloaded this just yesterday. So it will show expires 07, that is July 31st of 2023. That's by today's date. That's how it will show. So USCIS Form I-134, affidavit of support. They are asking you, start here, type or print in black ink. Page 1, basis for filling. I am filling this form on behalf of myself as a beneficiary, an individual who is a beneficiary. So they're asking, who is filling this form? It's better let it be the sponsor filling your form, but I filled it myself, and I indicated another individual who is a beneficiary, because I did not say myself as a beneficiary. No, another individual who is a beneficiary. So part 2, information about the beneficiary. As you can see now, it's showing that your sponsor is filling it out for you. Now they're asking, what's the information of the beneficiary? The last name, given name, middle name. You put your names. Other names, you put other names. Date of birth, you indicate your date of birth. Sex, gender, that's female or male. Place of birth, you put your place of birth. For me, I was born in Uganda and my citizenship is in Uganda, so I put place of birth, citizenship, passport number, you indicate it. Then country issued, the most issued passport, that's my country. Then they will ask expiration of the issued passport, you indicate it. Hope the guys you're following. Expiration date of the issued passport. Marital status, that is married. If you're married, in this affidavit of support, they will include your spouse and kids if you have them. So me, I was married, so they included my kids and spouse. So right here we put married or single. Information about your beneficiary. First of all, if you are filling it out for your sponsor, you have to get details of where your sponsor lives, details of where your sponsor works and what she does. Details like the tax returns, how much she earns in a year. So that's the kind of information you need from your sponsor, and an ID, American passport. If he's a green card holder, then he can send you a green card photocopy or colored copy. So information about beneficiaries mailing address. Of course, I did not put the mailing address. I left it blank. If you have it, you just put it for yourself. Are you or are the beneficiary's mailing address the physical address? I said no. Because I did not include the mailing address, I said no. If you answer no to item 11, provide your physical address. So they say if you answered no to item 11, then provide your physical address in item 12. Then you go ahead providing, you provide your in care of street number, city, province, postal code, country. For those who have postal code, go ahead, put it. For me, I put 256. Country, I put Uganda. I didn't, you can include your state, zip code, city or town, street name, in care of. You can include it if you have it. It's not, it will not be that needed. If you don't have it, don't include it. If you have it, please just include it if you have it. Most of us don't have such, like the street name. You can have the street name. For me, I just indicated the city. Provinces, we don't use provinces in our areas. If you use it in your area, please just include it. Then they ask for post code and country. I put Uganda, that's where I come from. Beneficiaries, date, time, telephone number. So you include your telephone numbers. Beneficiaries mobile number. If you have two numbers, you can put one in the daytime telephone number, then put another in the mobile telephone number. Then they ask for the email beneficiary's email address. That email address, I think, should be the same email address which you're using for the DV lottery. Then beneficiary's anticipated length of stay. Here, you just indicate like from which date, you indicate from which date. Put up estimate a date you'll be done with your DV lottery. You just put, I'll go in after 5 months from now. You can put July, you can put April, you can put whatever date you expect to be going to the USA. Like when do you expect your interview? You just estimate. It's not there will not be issues when you put any kind of date, but just put that date you think you might be in US. Just indicate it. No big deal. Then you put that date from which then they ask you to select what date. What date don't include anything. Then under there is no end date. Yeah, you go to no end date. Part 2, beneficiaries financial information. Don't get scared when they ask for your financial information, guys. Don't cheat, don't lie. Here, man, for me, I put zeros. I do not put any kind of money. Like, I do not say I have this kind of money, I have this, I make this in a year. So here they're asking beneficiaries financial information. This is part 2. Provide information about the beneficiary's income and asset. If you need additional space to complete any item in the section, use the space provided in part 8, additional information. Man, just put zeros. If you have money, indicate it. Indicate it if you have it, and if you have proof to show that you work for that in a year. Then 17, beneficiaries income. Then they are showing you here. Provide all the information requested in the table below about the beneficiary. They're asking your sponsor to provide such information. But if you're filling it out, you know your information. You know the kind of money you make in a year. So you just put it up. If your sponsor asks you to provide this, just send him the kind of information he or she needs. So here they're asking you provide all the information requested in the table below about the beneficiary. All of your beneficiaries, dependents, and any other individual that beneficiary financially supports. You heard that? So they're telling you all of the beneficiaries, dependents, and any other individual that the beneficiary financially supports. If you support your wife, indicate him or her there. If you support your husband or your wife, indicate him or her there. And your kids, you just indicate all your dependents, because that's how they determine how you earn and how you spend your money. So they further say, do not include any individual named in part 3. Information about assets that are not based on employment should be added in part item number 2022 and not in item number 17. That is the under table. That table they are showing you there, that is part 17. So they are saying if you have any asset, provide it in part 18, not here. So here there is a table The first section is asking for your names, individuals' names. So you will indicate, first you indicate the principal applicant. I was the principal applicant. I indicated myself. Remember, I filled affidavit of support by myself, and I sent it to the sponsor to sign. But good enough, the sponsor had given me part of his or her information. So I used that information to fill up her part and my part because I have my information. So my names, in the table below, there are 4 sections. 4 sections. The first one, names. The second section, date of birth. The third section, relationship to the beneficiary. The fourth one, income contribution to the beneficiary annually, yearly. So I put my name, or put your name, or the please sponsor put his name. Date of birth. Here in the relationship to the beneficiary, if you are the beneficiary, or if the name indicated first in the table should be the beneficiary, that is the principal applicant. So here write beneficiary. And to the other section, incomes, if none, type or print 0. I put 0. So I added my spouse, her birth, date of birth, then relationship to the beneficiary. I indicated spouse. So you indicate spouse. If you don't have spouse, don't put any. If you have spouse, if you don't have spouse but you have kids, so you'll put the name of your kid under your name, or under the beneficiary's name, the principal applicant name, then the date of birth, then under another section you put child, then go ahead, income 0, then the number of dependents are 2 minus the beneficiary, minus the principal applicant. There are 2, that is wife and kid. In my position there were 2. If you are alone, put none or put 0. Total of income, I indicated 0. Man, don't hustle putting kinds of information here which you don't have proof about. Just indicate 0, 0, zeros. This affidavit of support, they want to see the incomes of your sponsor. So under the table 18, they say, does any of the beneficiaries income, total income, including income from dependents and other individuals who contribute to the beneficiary's income, excluding any individual named in Part 3, come from any illegal activity or source, such like illegal gambling or illegal drug sales? Put no, because you're not getting your income from illegal activities like illegal gambling or illegal drug sales. Put no. 19. If you say yes in item 18, if you say it, then what amount of beneficiary income comes from those illegal activities? So I just put no, no, no. Does any of the beneficiary's income come from means tested public benefits as defined in the CFR? Just put no. If you answered yes, what amount of income comes from means tested by public benefits? Just say nothing. Don't put anything there. Further, they ask you Information about the beneficiaries continues. Beneficiaries' assets. Here, they want to know your assets in 2020. This is 2022, number 22. In the table below, provide the amount of assets available to the beneficiaries for the accepted period of his or her stay. Attach evidence showing that the beneficiaries has these assets. They're asking this like, is it provide amount of assets or available to the beneficiaries for the expected period of his stay in the US. So they're saying if this beneficiary has a car already, just put it there. We need to see if he has a car, if he has an apartment, boat, if he has anything. So me, I did not include anything because by that time I didn't have anything here. If you're rich and you have your wealth in the US and you wanna present it here, you just put it. And this information is about the beneficiaries. We are not yet to the information of the sponsor. After this information, we shall be going to the information of the sponsor. But at the moment, they're asking about the beneficiary. Beneficiary is that principal applicant whom the sponsor is giving this affidavit of support. Whom the sponsor is saying here that I'm going to support this guy when he comes to the USA. So, part 3. Now we are going to the sponsors part. Information about the individual agreeing to financially support the beneficiary named in part 2. Remember, we've been putting information about you, the beneficiary, or him, the one you're sponsoring, if you're the sponsor watching this video. Part 3 is yours as the host, the sponsor. Some hosts are not our sponsors, but if you are the host and you're a sponsor, please, that information is yours. And thank you for helping these guys. It's a hustle. It's not easy. No one, I cannot say much, but thank you. So in part 3, if you are not the beneficiary named in part 2, complete part 3. Current legal name, first name or family name, given name, then middle name, other names used, current mailing address. This is so important. Your current mailing address should be the same which you provided if you are the host and you are the same time sponsor to the person, to the principal applicant, to the selectee in the diversity visa lottery. This address, the current mailing address, should correspond with that address you gave to the selectee, which he indicated in his DS260. That is for those who are gonna host. If you are just sponsoring, you can just put your mailing address. It could be different from that mailing address which he indicated in the DS260. But if you are the host and you are the sponsor, please just use the same mailing address. I believe it's same because that's where you live. And here they're asking for the mailing address of your home. So they're asking for a current mailing address in care of names. You put the sponsors' names, or you can leave it and blank. Street number, city, town, apartment, or floor, then state, zip code, province, postal code, country, that is USA. Then when I open the page, they ask information about the individual agreeing to sponsor or to support the beneficiary named in part 2. If you are currently mailing address the same as your physical address? Yes. Then you say yes. Your current mailing address the same as your physical address? Yes. In USA, if you move from one apartment to another, they might continue mailing uh, that mailing that mail. They might still mail until you change it. So you might use your mail address, but it's not your current address. So here they're asking, is that mailing address same as your current address? Then here you indicate yes, if so. If you answer no in item number 4, then here they will ask for your physical address. So if you said yes, you don't need to answer this one because you already said yes. Other information, they will ask you, the sponsor. Oh, this information is for that who is sponsoring you. If you're the one writing if you're the one filling in this affidavit of support for your sponsor, just put the information, your sponsor's information here. Date of birth, place of birth, seat of birth. Here, there is some important information of your sponsor. So guys, don't disclose this information to anyone. Your sponsors trusted you, and here they're asking your area number. Your area number. Use SCIS online account number. So if you put your area number, you don't need to put other one. If you have it, you can put it. But you put your area number, that is the sponsor's area number. What is your relationship to these beneficiaries? This is an interesting question. Guys, we don't need to lie about our relationship with the sponsor or with the host. You can be just, he or she might be a family friend. You don't need to say it's my relative or it's my uncle or it's my brother. You don't need to convince. They just need you to state it. You might say it's my mother, yet it's not your biological mother. Americans, they need proof. If you say it's my mother, at the interview, they will ask you, what's the relationship? What's the relationship between you and your sponsor? And you say it's my mother, they'll ask you how. Sure, he's your mother. Me, I just said it's family friend. So just put family friend. If he's a family friend, if he's not an uncle, sometimes they might ask you, provide proof that when did you last saw this person? If you say it's my mother or it's my brother or whatever, they might think since he's your brother or family relative, he could have come back and met you. So they will ask you, when did you last meet? So to avoid this kind of questions, guys, please be real. Be real. Put family friend. If he's a family friend, if he's your uncle or dad, just put. And be aware when those people came and visited you in your country. If you're Kenyan, when did that uncle of yours ever came back? Try to ask your sponsor information about his family. They might ask you about your sponsor's family. If you say that he is your relative, then you have to know about his family. They might ask you here, does he have kids? They might. And this will be the point which will lead you to being denied the visa. So guys, be true to yourselves and be there to confidently defend yourself. Like, this is my relative. He's my relative. I last saw him in like that. When? Provide the proof. So they're asking immigration status of your sponsor. What is your current immigration status? You as the sponsor filling this form. If you're filling out this form for your sponsor, just put USA citizen. You have to know. Ask your sponsor. And if you put a citizen, he has to provide a passport biodata. If he put a lawful permanent resident, he will provide a green card copy. Just copy a copy. If he's a USA national, he has to provide proof. If he's a non-immigrant, form I-94 arrival departure record, then you have to provide that. And others explain. They give you space to explain others kind of immigration status. So I'll go to another page, and this page here is where you will find employment information. This employment is about the sponsor's employment information. Employment status: employed, full time, part time, seasonal, self-employed. So that provision, you'll put X, or you mark that one. I believe your host is not unemployed or retired. If he's retired and he has a man and businesses, then he has to say retired, and he has to put include how he makes money, and he include how he pays taxes. But remember, you also has to provide to you the tax returns and a copy of his ID, American ID. If you indicated that you are employed in item 12, provide information requested in item 13 and 14. I am currently employed as, you put doctor, certified doctor, you put certified nurse, you indicate what you do. Are you a CNA, HHA? Indicate. You make money. Here in America, everyone makes money. You indicate. If you work anywhere, just indicate. Then employer's name. What is the name of your employer, Mr. or Mrs.? I am currently self-employed. So you indicate currently self-employed. What do you do? Current employer's address. So they further ask for employer's address. In America, there are addresses, even in our countries. But here in America, they have mailing addresses. These are the mailing addresses. In our other countries, we have just different addresses. But here in America, they will ask, like here, 14, they ask current employer's address, street name and name, street name and name. Like street number, they ask street number and the name of the street. Then they ask for apartment, floor, where you stay, or the office numbers, city or town, state, zip code, province, postal code, country, USA, for your sponsor. Financial information. This is the most needed part of your affidavit of support. This information. Here, there is a table where your sponsor is going to show how much he or she earns in a year, annually. So they ask financial information. Provide information about your income asset. If you need an additional space to complete an item in this section, use space provided in part 8. So here, income. This is 15, part 15. Provide all information requested in the table below about yourself, all of your dependents, and any other individual financiaries you support. Do not include the individual named in part 2. Information about assets that are not based on employment should be added in part 15 and not in part 20. So part 15 here, they're asking about your sponsor and they need to know how much she makes in a year. So they're asking full name, date of birth, relationship to the individual agreeing to sponsor, financial support, relationship to the individual agreeing to financially support. Then they say put self for individual agreeing to financial support. So here your sponsor is the one agreeing to financially support the principal applicant. So you include self because I am the sponsor. So you put self, and the last section they're asking income contribution to the beneficiaries annually. If not type of, if you don't have, if none, you put 0. So here the sponsor has to put a good amount which he makes annually. So here because there is the to ask for affidavit of support, you have to know your sponsor has to be at least in the middle class people. He has not to be poor. Like your sponsor below the poverty line, your affidavit of support will mean nothing. There are some incomes which are below the poverty line, and if those people who are below the poverty line, they are eligible for government support. The government of United States give them like where to stay at a cheaper cost. They give them homes, they give them credit cards to get food, they give them grants, they give them a lot of stuff. So most of us here, we can never go below the poverty line because we work. I see many people here begging on streets. Even Americans themselves, mostly Americans themselves, Spanish, even Africans, I cannot say, wherever. People, it's easy here for someone to go poor than in your country. There are so many reasons. So you cannot say why. Why? I see them. I'm even richer than them at this moment. Ooh. So guys, here you have to make sure your sponsor, the person you chose to sponsor you, has a good amount he or she earns annually, and he has to pay taxes. So here he will show like he gets $70,000, he gets $50,000. I believe even $40,000 is enough to prove that he or she can take care of you. So it doesn't matter. Poverty line, it's a very little amount, maybe like 20,000 and below. I don't have more information about the poverty line, but I believe it's like 20,000 and below. But most of us, 20,000, we can save it in few months. In a year, we can save above 50,000, above 60,000. When if you are a hard worker, you can save even beyond 80,000. So information about individual agreeing to financial support the beneficiary named in part 2. Then guys, listen. Does any of your income listed above come from illegal activities or sources? No. If you answer yes, what income comes from illegal activity, you put it there. Just don't put nothing. Answer no. Any of your individual listed above from the name tested public benefit as defined in HCFR. If your sponsor takes public benefit or your kids, you have to put it. say no. If yes, then put the amount from means tested public benefit. No. Then here they are asking for the assets your sponsor has. You don't need to put anything if you already you filled up the other part of the income, annual income. Then here, this table, they're asking for full name of asset holder, type of asset, then they say amount, cash value. If you have a house, you can put your name, then you put a house, then you put a asset value. Here they're asking for you and your household. If you have kids who have properties, if you have a car, you can indicate if you like, but I did not indicate, though my sponsor has those kind of stuff, but I did not indicate it. They did not penalize me for not indicating there. The only part I indicated is the annual amount my sponsor makes. So here they're asking financial responsibility of other beneficiaries. There I did not put anything. I just put no, and I did not answer anything there. Then they further ask if information about individual agreeing to financially support the beneficiary named in part 2. Intent to provide specific contribution to the beneficiary. Here, this is the off. Or here you're swearing, like I intend. So they say I don't intend to make specific contribution to support of the beneficiaries named in part 2. So here you can say I intend to support or I don't intend. Here my sponsor said I don't intend to make specific contribution to support of the beneficiary in part 2. Here it's not that he's saying he will not support you, but he's saying I don't intend to make specific contributions. Here your beneficiary, here your sponsor is saying I don't intend to make specific contributions like buy you a car, pay apartment for you, or pay insurance. So here he's not making specific contributions, but he might help you. Then part 4, statement, contact information, certification, signature for the beneficiary. Here they want, if you are the beneficiary and are filling out this form on your own, complete and sign it. So here they are saying select the box for either item A or item B. If applicable, select the box for item 2. So here they're asking 1. As the beneficiary satisfied the following: I can read, understand English, and I have read and understood every question and instructions on the declaration and my answers to every questions. They are saying, as a beneficiary, you are accepting that you can understand English and you can read every question and instruction in this form. That is done. Then down there is interpreter. If there was any interpreter, I did not have any interpreter. Then they're saying, at my request, the preparer name. No one prepared this for me, so I did not indicate anything. So after that, they are asking for your signature and the date of signing. Yeah, it doesn't matter, guys. Don't overthink about the date, signature. Why should I put this date? Just put any date. If you are filling this form on behalf of someone else, then you have to complete part 5. You don't need to complete. Okay, here part 5 is the sponsors information. So when they ask you that if you're filling out form I-134, I-134 on behalf of someone else, complete, sign this part 5. You just put the information of your sponsor. Such easy thing. Just put the information of your sponsor. Yes, you as the principal applicant, all the sponsor can fill out this form. You as the principal applicant, you can go to the online website, download these files, fill them up. If you have the sponsor's information, fill it in. If you don't have, you can fill up your parts and even sign, then send to the sponsor. Then the sponsor will also fill his part. Okay? It's okay. I did that. I filled my part and I sent to the sponsor and they filled his part. Or the sponsor can provide the information. The only thing the sponsor has to do is to sign. That is the most important thing. You can send it, he or she can sign electronically. Or he can put his hand, then send it to you. He can put his hand signature, then send it to you. So there, you're putting information of your sponsor. Then you can go ahead, read out certification of individual agreement, certification of individual agreeing to financially support the beneficiaries. Copy of any document I have submitted are exact photocopies of alternable. Here they are saying copies of documents that I have submitted are exactly copies of the original document. As in they're saying they are copies from the original document have sent to you. As in if you send the passport by your data here, you're agreeing that it's the original what? Copy. It's not a forgery. Then they are saying I reviewed and provided or authorized all of the information in my declaration. I understand all the information contained and submitted with my declaration, and all of my information was complete, true, and correct to all time of filling. Like I did not mess up anywhere. And there your sponsor has to sign and put the date. Put the date accordingly. So after your sponsor puts the date, under there they will ask for an interpreter contact information and certification and signature. If you have an interpreter, he has to put under there. I did not have an interpreter, so I did not put anything there. Then you further go for more information about interpreter and his or her business. After that, they will further ask for additional information. Here I put name, my name, my given name, and my middle name. Under that, they're asking for alien number, which I did not have at that moment. Then they're asking for other information, which I did not have at that moment. So guys, I've come at the end of my video. I have copies. I have a bio data page, like passport page for my sponsor, which I will not show you, but you will need it. And I have tax, that is Internal Revenue Services, United States Department of Treasury. Yeah, that is the the tax tax returns document. You will need them to present them to the embassy, and it will help the embassy to see how much your sponsor earns and how much he has been paying taxes. You have to be sure that your sponsor pays taxes, because they need to see that. Because they need to see that. Seriously, here in America, people pay tax. It's not like in our country where we don't know even how to pay tax. We just pay tax when we buy stuff when we buy commodities from the supermarket. That's how we pay tax in Africa, wherever. But here in America, you have to pay tax. Like when you get your salary, they deduct their taxes. That's how America has become great. People here, we pay tax from the child. If your child is working, you pay tax. I don't need the baby. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I love you guys. Subscribe. Support me by tapping that star. There is a star on my videos, guys. Just support me by tapping that star and continue on that star wherever it will direct you. It's genuine. It's non-forgery. It's by YouTube. And guys, I'm Aaron Intende. Share my video to others, and I will always be here to answer you in the comments. Please comment, talk about this video, where you need more clearance, where you haven't understood. Just comment and I will be there to answer you. All right, guys, I wish you luck. Bye bye.